Alright, hey guys, what's going on? So, this video, I want to talk a little bit about the mark of Cain. And I haven't really heard much about this. It's kind of like a personal theory that I have. Just kind of like, if you've seen my videos, you might kind of see where I'm going with this. Um, I believe that Adam and Eve, at least the first people on Earth, I believe that they were black, or at least like dark brown, a dark race with woolly hair. That's what I believe. Just like the Aboriginals of Australia, or like some of like the old school like hunter gatherers, how they're like dark skinned in the jungle and stuff. I believe that's the case, and I believe that when Cain murdered his brother Abel, I personally believe that his skin turned red, or he turned pale, and I think that, because he feared that he was going to be killed, I think that he was like the first one of his kind. He was like the first red man of his kind once he bared the mark. And I kind of think that after that, it's pretty much set him on a trajectory of doom, pretty much. And because it says that, because Abel, he was like a shepherd, right? He was watching over the flock, but it said that Cain, he was like a tiller of the field. And best that I can understand, that could be like a farmer. It could be, he might be a miner, like mining for gold or something like that. I believe this is the case. And, but because after he sold his birthright, he left the Garden of Eden and he went east to Nod and he built like the first city. So he became like a city slicker. And, his son Tubal Cain, or maybe it's his grandson Tubal Cain. But anyway, Tubal Cain, he was like an artificer of brass and iron, and he made musical instruments. And I believe all this is implied to that he made like weapons for war. He made like battle drums, war horns, and stuff like that. So it kind of like changed his trajectory. But I think even if he was like a miner or a farmer, I think a lot of the is still built on like a warlike mentality anyway. Because like if he was truly righteous or something, he would have been like Abel. He would have just been a shepherd and just ate like the fruit and the veggies and just live life good. But no, because I don't know, because farming in a way is like mass producing food and stuff, mainly to build for war and shit. That's the way I can, like, its most based function for doing mining and farming is to like prepare an army for war and shit. So to me, it's like a warlike doctrine at its most based. And but yeah, I believe that he turned red, and I can't really prove it. I can't prove it exactly, but I've heard a few people make that kind of theory a little bit. What's something else I could talk about? Blonde hair. There's something in, but really this goes to something else. But the book of Exodus and Leviticus talks about, because like the Israelites, they're dark races, right? It mentioned that if people had yellow hair, that was considered um, like unclean. It's considered like leprous, and just not good. It's not a good sign. And what we find in the white race, the white Caucasian race, especially like the ideal Aryan, is blonde haired and blue eyed. Well, the yellow hair is being blonde. So for white people to have, for a lot of our people to have blonde hair and stuff, it's a sign that our race is um is wicked. Is wicked. It's leprous and is unclean. And because like I was mentioning about the synagogue of Satan, it's like, even though we say that we might be a pure white race, but we're really not, because we're mixed with Semitic and Hamitic blood. We have bastard or mongrel blood in us. We're a mutt, and it's just the way it is. But I just wanted to touch a little bit about that. Mark of Cain, I believe, probably turned red. That's my guess. Like he turned pale, and that, yeah, blonde hair, at least from the Israelites, is a sign of leprosy. It's a sign of uncleanness, But the white race, we have a lot of blonde haired people. I think that ties in pretty well. It kind of goes back to like critical race theories. You can kind of point people out, the sheeps and the goats, just based on their physical characteristics. And the dark races have different characteristics than the pale races do. And these are just things that we have to consider. And I know that some people, they say like that Eve, she's the mother of us all, and yeah, I believe that to be true. But that we all came from the same mother, but maybe not the same father. You understand? The one came from Adam, which came from God, and then the other one was the seed of the serpent. So I think there was two fathers going on, and I think that kind of goes back to how it says that God, on the earth is like his farm and whatever, and like how he planted the wheat in his field, and then it says later that an enemy came and sowed tares in there. So it's not God putting the tares in there, it's someone else entirely sowing the tares in there. So that's where I kind of believe like a little bit of that dual seed line were two fathers over Eve. And I think this kind of like explains things pretty well. But like I said, I could be wrong. Most of my stuff could be wrong. I don't know. I just spitball. I listen to what people say, and I just take it into consideration. And I give it to you guys to listen to. But yeah, I guess that's good for now. Y'all take it easy.